It's playoff time in Oklahoma City, and InsideThunder.com presents the Thunder Game Report, powered by Wheeler Whitlock Insurance Agency, giving you the best value for your insurance dollar.
Hi, I'm Randy Renner at Chesapeake Energy Arena for InsideThunder.com. The Thunder lose it tonight 100-99. The game went to overtime, the fourth time in this series the game has gone to overtime. That's the first time that's ever happened in NBA history, that a playoff series has had 4 consecutive overtime games. Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant had big scoring nights tonight, but bad shooting nights. Russell Westbrook had a triple-double with 30 points, 13 assists, and 10 rebounds, but it took him 31 shots to get to those 30 points. KD had 26 tonight. Took him 24 shots to get there. Memphis had a big night from Mike Miller, who really had been held in check throughout this entire series. Miller was shooting just 27% overall, but tonight he was 5 for 8 from 3 and led them with 21 points. Now let's get to the podium and we'll hear from all the coaches, players who had an impact on tonight's game.
Well, I thought we fought hard, gave ourselves a chance to win the game. A lot of great effort. Going into the series, we knew it was going to be a tough series, and going into every series, we talk about it's the first to 4. They have 3. We got to go turn this page as quick as we can and put all of our attention and energy and focus into the next game. We still have an opportunity to go there and continue to fight. We won our last game we played there, so we know we can win on their court. Guys are going to keep fighting. That's what we do. That's what they've always done. A couple of breaks here and there could have changed the game, but I thought the guys had a great job of competing. We got down when we didn't make any shots during that stretch when they jumped up 18 or 20 points on us. But it says a lot about our team. Just keep plugging away and keep fighting and sending it into overtime with our toughness and our defensive effort. But unfortunately, we didn't have enough to close the game out. But you got to give them credit. They made a few more plays down the stretch.
Coach Michael Kenny, Norman transcript. Can you just talk about the final 2.9 seconds? Was that the play that you drew up, the three-pointer by Durant?
Well, he has opportunities to catch and drive. I thought he had 3 seconds, but, I give KD that decision to make a play. Tough shot. There's no question it was a tough shot. A lot of times the game comes down to the last shot. But there's so many different possessions in this game that we gave them easy opportunities, and we can't take those away. But I thought the guys' effort was good.
Dean Blevins, News 9, CBS, Oklahoma City. Coach, have you ever seen a ref take a ball away from someone ready to shoot a free throw for what happened there with Joey Crawford? Your thoughts on that?
Well, for those who've been around me a long time, we play the game. I coach the game, and referees ref the game. It was an awkward situation. I'll say that. But that's neither here, neither there. We have to just think about what we can do better going into the next game.
Coach John.
Scott, Bob Berry, K4, the NBC in Oklahoma City. Your 2 All-Stars are now 31 for 100 in the last 2 games. Again, it just doesn't seem like they're getting comfortable, even when they were making some plays. But what do you attribute that?
We got to continue to search and find better shots. They're not making shots. Kevin has made a lot of shots for a long time. We're gonna go back and look at all of them and see what we can do better. And then, like I said, we're just going to focus all of our energy for the next 48 minutes Thursday night. That's all we can do. We've hung together. We competed for one another for a long time. We have to do it for one more game in Memphis.
Coach John Herrick, CTV Sports in Enid. When Memphis got up 20, what were they doing that really put you guys behind the 8 ball? Was it their defense? Was it their points in the paint that they held a big advantage of at one point? What do you think it was overall? We
weren't scoring during that stretch. We could not score the basketball. During that stretch, they only scored 21 points in the third quarter. We started off, we just couldn't make any shots in the second quarter and in that third quarter. But, our defense gave us a chance to compete. I think they only had 11 or 12 points in the paint in that second half. I like their guys' effort. It's unfortunate that we didn't come away with the win. Every game is an overtime game. I've never been involved in 4 overtime games in a row, but it's competition. Both teams are competing. I can't complain about our level of competition. We're getting after it. We just haven't made a play here, a play there.
Scott, with about Jeff Kaplan, NBA.com. Scott, with about 6 minutes left in regulation, Durant hits the 3, and then when about 7 or 8 possessions, kind of out in the corner, doesn't touch the ball. Is that by design? Is that something that
No, I mean we've had some plays where he has to space the floor. We're giving Reggie some opportunities. We did that the game before, and we were able to get into the paint and create easy opportunities. They did a good job of guarding them. We have to obviously find better looks for all of our guys.
Also, 3 of 6 from the foul line. I mean, I know they've been playing good defense on Kevin, but is he mentally struggling at the moment?
Well, he hasn't made shots. But he's still competing. He got 8 rebounds tonight. He's a great free throw shooter. He's a great shooter. I believe in all the work that he puts in. I believe that he's gonna come back next game and give us another great effort, and I believe that his shots will fall.
Myron Patton, Fox in Oklahoma City. Could you comment just on your start? I mean, you went home court back, and I think they were shooting like 65% midway through the second quarter, and you were just playing uphill all night long, it seemed.
Yeah, I didn't particularly care for the start, and then we closed it out a little bit by 5, and then we had a struggle scoring the ball in that second quarter. We have to play with maximum effort every possession. This is what this team makes you do. This is playoff basketball, and they're a very good team. They're physical, they're big, and they have some good players. And we have to do a better job of playing possession by possession to start the game.
Last question. Scott, you've been around basketball a long time. Games like tonight just have become the norm in this series. Have you ever been around anything like this?
I've never been around 4 overtime games in a row, not that I can recall. But that's going into the series. We knew that games were going to be close. Both teams compete at a high level. Unfortunately, like I said, a couple of plays here and there could have went our way. But that's part of the game. You have to pick yourself up and get ready for the next game. We got 48 hours to do that.
Kevin, Zach McCrae, 107.7 The Franchise in Oklahoma City. Can you explain kind of what went through your mind or what you were thinking whenever Joey Crawford took the ball from you on the second free throw? And what was the explanation?
I was just trying to stay focused and knock the free throw down. Unfortunately, I didn't. I don't know what happened, but I got to make that free throw.
Kevin and Russ, you were both, the team was down by 20. What was the key that allowed y'all to make that comeback and send it into overtime?
Just playing together. Thought we did a good job, but just kept fighting, attacking them, and it got us back in the game.
Hey, Kevin, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Just the big plays of this game and this series, really. I mean, it seems like it's a full playoffs worth. Did you guys feel like you're in the middle of something super special here, or do you even take any stock of that?
4 straight overtimes. I mean, it's good basketball, but we lost 3 of them. That's the worst part. But we focus on this is next game. I mean, I'm sure if you look back on it, you'll see how special it is. But we just worry about the next game and going on the road and trying to get a W.
Kevin, your free throw made and attempted from the regular season, the playoffs are down about 3 per game. What do you have to do to get yourself the free throw line a little bit more in this series?
Just drive it a little bit more. The paint is closed up and they're doing a good job of helping, but I have to drive it a little bit more and be more aggressive, and maybe I'll get the calls.
Kevin, John Herrick, CTB Sports in Enid. Memphis has thrown a lot of guys. They've thrown Tony Allen at you. They've thrown Tayshaun Prince at you. Do you feel like it's more the individual guys guarding you, or is it like the overall defensive coverages that Memphis is throwing at you that's giving you trouble?
It's a little bit of both. They do a good job, but I always see guys when I have the ball, and I just gotta stay disciplined in my shots and knock them down. I mean, miss a few layups, a few wide open jumpers. So I gotta be more aggressive. I just gotta stay positive. But I figured out where to catch the ball and how to be effective.
Kevin, it seems like you've had trouble getting in rhythm. You score and then don't touch the ball for a while. There's a stretch in the end of the fourth quarter. You hit three-pointer with about 6 minutes left and then touched the ball for quite a while. What was going on in the offense where you weren't really involved at that point?
I wouldn't say I wasn't involved. I think, we seen something in the pick and roll, and Reggie and Russ did a great job of attacking. And if they were to come off of me, I would have, been aggressive myself. So, I'm just sometimes, you got to be a decoy out there, and I'm fine with that. And once the ball comes my way, I have to be ready and be aggressive when I touch it. So, if I want the ball, I got to go rebound it and bring it up on a break. So, I trust my teammates with whatever decisions they make, and I just got to be better for them.
Kevin, Tony Sellers, Associated Press. The last play of the game, what kind of look did you feel like you had? Did you think it was going in, and then the subsequent tip there that was disallowed?
Yeah, it looked good when it left my hands, but didn't go in, and Serge's tip was just a half a second late. But, we got to move on.
Kevin, Carmen Coffey, Perry Broadcasting. You seem to have more success when you are backing your defender down in the post. Are you comfortable in that position versus the jump shot, and are we going to see more of that in this series?
Yeah. Comfortable down there, but it's kind of hard when they doubling and when they sitting guys in your lap before you catch it. But I just got to be stronger and better, cut harder.
Russell, if you could talk about 20 seconds to go, and you come up with a steal in regulation and slam to tie it. Talk about that play, and then did you feel like with the burst of momentum there, you would go on through in overtime and win?
Yeah. I mean, out of that timeout, we just told ourselves to get a stop, find a way to get a stop, and I was fortunate enough to get a steal and get a dunk. And I definitely thought that led us to some momentum going to overtime, but we just couldn't close it out.
For either guy that wants to answer, when you go out there tonight, you made a run and came back with sort of a smaller lineup out there. You were playing a lot of forward, defending those guys down there. Does it sort of open things up offensively when you can have Karan space the floor and you have Serge space the floor? Does that help you guys?
Definitely. When you have those guys out there that can shoot the ball, they have both of their bigs out there, so they have to guard one of our shooters. Obviously they're not leaving Kevin, and we just got to find an open shot and open guys.
Russ, are you pleased with your shot selection? There's some shots early in the shot clock, some that look a little wild, but are you pleased with the shots that you're putting up?
I can get better ones, but sometimes you just got to attack regardless of what's going on or the time of the game. You got to stay in attack mode. If they're giving me a 15-footer, I make that 9 times out of 10, so I'm gonna shoot it.
Kevin, Russell, just what needs to happen in Game 6 to be able to bring this back for Game 7?
We got to impose our will from the beginning of the game, but we got to be locked in defensively. We gave too many points to start the game, and we got to continue to move the ball. I think I liked our offense tonight. We could have made more shots, but I liked the way it moved a little bit, and it got sticky sometimes. But defensively, we have to be way better. We got to guard all their movements, and we got to guard their three-point shooters when they come in the game and rebound the basketball.
Anybody else? Back here.
Damon Fontenot, News OK. Hey, Russ, what level of concern do you have going into Game 6 as far as this series is concerned?
Not much. We won there before. We know what we need to do to win the game. We just got to come out and play our game and come out and impose our will, like Kevin said, come out and do what we need to do to win the game.
It's been a heck of a series. Very competitive. Very proud of our guys. They just kept coming and coming and coming. We keep taking shots, tough shots, end of shot clock, end of game. And my hat's off to them. They make incredible plays just over and over and over. They put themselves in a position. So there's I don't know how many times this is 4 in a row. So, we can go up and down the list of both teams and say which guy made great plays, but I thought that tonight is just each guy had his own moments. Zach was aggressive and started the game very well, and I can go on down the list. But Mike Miller stepping up, making some big shots when. Were we teetering after we've got a 2-point lead with, 6 seconds left to go or 8 seconds left to go, comes out and steps up and knocks in a shot and, really gave us a shot in the arm and a lot of confidence. So I thought we did a good job on Westbrook and Durant, just tried to make things difficult for them. The offensive rebounds got us again a little bit. We made some free throws a little bit more than we've been making, so that was important, and keeping our turnovers down, which is what we talked about before the game.
Dean Blevins, News 9, CBS, Oklahoma City. Coach, one of the storylines will be Oklahoma City's shooting another large number of three-pointers. What do you do defensively that causes that, and is that something that you really want to see happen coming into the game?
No, I think they've got a lot of makers, to be honest with you. And when they come out and make 6 of their first 7, you certainly get concerned. The problem with them and their threes is that they can come at any time and they can make 3 in a row, and they're never out of a game, and they can burst out on you so quickly. So we're not trying to sag in and stay off their 3-point shooters at all. But there's times where Durant and Westbrook put so much pressure on your defense that you can't just let guys hang out to dry. We've got to put some bodies in front of them and just make things tough. And so some guys got some open looks tonight. They made some and they missed some.
Zach McCarty, 107.7 The Franchise in Oklahoma City. Can you explain what you heard from Joe on the free throw, the second free throw from Durant? What was the stoppage of play?
I didn't
there?
understand. No.
That's all I got.
Anything else?
Coach Brent Weber, KOSU, Oklahoma City. This may be one of those where after this series is over, they're going to be trying to hire both of your training staffs, because at the end of the year to have this many minutes, the intensity, you had guys that were literally, I think on both teams, were probably sucking for some potassium there. Have you ever in your coaching career, I mean, I know, let's think about this now, this many games in a row, this is unprecedented overtime games. Any time where you've had this many like this?
Hey, they're doing training on our coaching staff right now too, because we're all sweating through. But try to give guys blows when you can. We moved guys around, especially in the first half. Got some good performances from our bench. Mike Miller, what he did offensively was tremendous, but also rebounding the ball defensively was good for us. But Mike Conley in an overtime game played 38. That's not too bad. Run Mark in the ground at 46, but by and large, those guys can play 40. 41 minutes. I prefer not to. Mike Miller plays 30. Tony Allen plays 34, which is right on where I'd like to see him. I thought he kept his athleticism and his freshness, and I thought he made a lot more good plays than he did bad plays. And the guy went and got rebounds in crowds for us and just made a ton of great plays.
Coach, with about 6 minutes left in regulation, Durant hit a 3-pointer and then went about 7 or 8 possessions without even touching the ball. Did you guys feel like you guys were simply denying he seemed to be out in the corner uninvolved, or was that look like a game plan for them to go away from him?
Yeah, I can't speak to what they're trying to do, but obviously we're trying to make his catches tough, and if we could make it so that he never got to touch the ball, I certainly would. So our guys did a good job, and not just the guys that are guarding him, but the guys that are supporting those guys who are guarding him.
Coach John Herrick, CTV Sports in Enid. Looked like for a period there you were sitting on 76 for quite some time. What were they doing defensively, and how did you kind of get yourselves out of that so you could, that was some adversity you had to fight through. How did you get yourselves out?
We did a nice flow. We moved the basketball and we pushed up and down the floor. With 6 minutes left to go in the game, we said we've got to sprint to the finish, and that means we've got to get up and down the floor offensively and get into our stuff and put them on the move, which I thought we did a good job of most of the game. And we had gotten slow, and then we got into shots at the end of clock, and they kind of became the aggressors. So I thought we finished the last 6 minutes very well. Last 30 seconds was a little tough for us, but we made enough plays, and I think for the breaks that have gone, I thought our guys deserved a break.
Time for one more.
Coach Patrick Braun, KADS Radio, Elk City, Oklahoma. Talk about the start for Tayshaun Prince. How important is it for you guys to have him get off to a good start and give you some production?
It was good. It's good to get him involved in it, and it's gives those guys different looks. And now I'm able to play Tony Allen and move him around sometimes to play some Westbrook and do some different things that way. And certainly we have a high focus on what Reggie Jackson can do after the other night. We didn't get so far away from him, I thought, this game.
Mike, Michael Kenny, Norman Transcript. Mike, can you just talk about what is it about the Grizz that no matter what happens, once you get to the overtime, you're able just to, most of the time, pull it out, especially against the Thunder?
We're a team that, is able to bounce back from adversity. We have had a lot of tough plays, especially mine at the end of the regulation, for us to still come back and compete and stay focused in the overtime. Just says a lot about the resiliency of this team and the focus level.
Mike Barberry, K4, the NBC in Oklahoma City. Talk about how you got the 20-point lead and then what happened when they came all the way back.
Well, we were moving the ball, very well in that, getting that 20-point lead. Everybody was touching it. We were all in sync. We were getting stops when we needed them. Rebounding the ball was big. I think when we get rebounds and we're able to push the ball, we're able to get out to bigger leads. But just like every game this series, seems like they find a way, they come back, they get it going in their pace, they get stops, get out in transition, and then, we got a game.
Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Mike, can you just talk about the two possessions to end regulation and overtime? You guys had a great play drawn up. Zach didn't quite get the shot off, and then obviously Serge's tip that didn't quite get it. Just what was going through your mind as you watched both of those evolve?
Well, obviously there's a lot of emotion. Zach's shot was just a split second late. From my first glance, I thought Serge's was good, and I was just, in shock there for a minute. But after seeing the replay, obviously he was, after the horn. But I mean, both plays, were tough plays, and that's just the way the ball bounces at this time of the year in big games.
Kevin Kosminski, News9.com. Mike, you guys have seen a little bit different lineups from the Thunder. They've gone big with Perkins out there and Ibaka at the 4. And then today they went sort of smaller. They went Durant guarding one of the big guys out there, and they went with Ibaka at the 5. What do you guys do to change things? Is there any kind of different strategy going down when you see a different lineup like that going down the stretch?
Well, I think that's the thing. We don't want to try to change too much when they do go small, because that's kind of what they want us to do. They want us to play a different style of ball. So we want to continue to try to play inside out, continue to try to take advantage of our big guys, but not try to get too caught up in the schemes. Like, when they get Kevin at the 4 and they got all the smaller guys out there making plays, we just have to defend them, try to rebound, and go on the other end and do what we do.
Myron Patton Fox in Oklahoma City. Talk about the start. You would think that they would have the momentum coming back, having just beaten you. Instead, you guys jump on them, take the crowd out of it. And also, what are you guys doing with Durant and Westbrook? Their shooting percentages are so low this series.
Well, we came out like a desperate team tonight. Obviously, losing the last game at home was tough. And we came out and fought and made a statement early that, we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to make this a series. We're going to make this a game. But as far as Katie and Russell, we're just being physical. We're being aggressive, trying to make them take and make tough shots. And that's all you can do. They're both phenomenal players and can score at will. So you just have to try to make it tough on them, wear them down throughout the game, and hope that you wear them down enough to where at the end of the game they make they miss a couple of those shots.
Anthony Slater with the Oklahoman. Specifically with Russell, he had a triple-double tonight, but he did it on 31 shots, took 7 threes. Is he kind of playing into your hands in some ways with his shot selection?
I think Russell plays the way he plays. He's always played an aggressive style of basketball. That's just him. It's not anything we're doing. It's not what we want him to do. For somebody to go for 30 is not always a good thing for us. We don't want the guy to get hot. And he played well. He made plays for him. He's made plays for him all series. We just have to continue to make him, take a high volume amount of shots and hope that he doesn't get hot, because if he does, he can, he'll kill us.
Mike, you feel like you guys have taken away some of Kevin's aggressiveness? Is he more passive than you've seen him in the past?
I think, KD's just had to make a little bit more plays. With the way we were defending him, we're throwing so many different guys at him. We're double teaming him here and there and making him have to adjust to us. But he's still aggressive. He's still, pulling up in transition. He's still, looking for a shot. So, we just have to continue to try to do what we've been doing and limit his easy buckets.
Mike, Patrick Braun, KDS Radio. What kind of luxury is it to have a guy like Mike Miller out there to spot up and knock down some threes? And then how important has been his playoff and championship experience for you guys?
Mike's been our leader. He's been holding us together here, especially in the playoffs. He's the guy that gets us together when bad things happen and we give up 10-point leads. He's the guy that makes the shots when we need him to, makes free throws when we need him to. He's just been the ultimate professional, and he brings that championship pedigree over to this team. Who needs that kind of leadership, needs that kind of a guy to guide us, when we're playing in such a big stage.
Mike, can you talk about what you were thinking when Joey Crawford ran in there and stole the ball from Durant when he was at the foul line and iced the shooter?
I looked at KD and we just were like, what is Joey doing? We had no idea. But, hey, I guess it worked at the end of the night. But, yeah, we were both kind of confused at what was going on.
So now the Thunder will head to Memphis for a do-or-die game. They have to win that game in Memphis on Thursday night in order to be able to come back here and play a Game 7 on Saturday night. Tip time in Memphis on Thursday, now set for 7 o'clock. Keep it here. We'll keep you informed at InsideThunder.com.